Right, this is part 2 of the Partizan presentation. Again, this is taking place at the Newark Showground in the English Midlands. It is Sunday, May 21, and we're going into Partizan part 2. So moving on from Oosterbeek, which was 2 fat lardies, it seems I'm squarely in the Lard zone, because here they are now doing their Western Gunfight, which we saw similar rules being used at another table just now. So this is the Western Gunfight using the 2 fat lardies rules. This one of course is 28mm, the previous one we saw was being done in 15. Interesting use of 15s. Right, this is the League of Gentlemen, the Anti-Alchemists, no less, with a very nice sharp orientated gun, sharp rules. We're up here. Suits those of us with a bad back. It's the sharp practice rules, but it does look, I think it's mildest. I'll have to ask Chris. Yeah, it looks mildest, Omdurman, that type of period. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing what looks like Egyptian artillery over the back there. Yeah, I'll just confirm that with them, but I think it's a mildest period. Omdurman, yeah, that looks like Egyptian cavalry tangling with the Mahdi's mounted troops. Okay, I was right. Not only is it Mahdi period, it's very early Mahdi period, and that's him over there sitting under a tree, I'm informed. Another view of the cavalry, and I'm informed this is so early the English aren't involved. This is purely the Egyptian army, which did have, as I recall, English officers. But yep, more Mahdi troops, more Egyptian troops over there. Got the red fezzes on, and they've got a Nordenfelt. If you ever see the film Khartoum, one of the things about the film Khartoum is actually fire a Nordenfelt gun on soundtrack. Very interesting machine gun. A familiar sight at many British war game shows. This is a very British Civil War, and what they're doing literally is taking the concepts of the Spanish Civil War and transplanting them to Britain in the 1930s. So you've got extemporised armour, militia type troops, militias from the far left and the far right, communist, nationalistic, Mosley's black shirts, the whole bit. It's very useful if you have any Spanish Civil War equipment and want to fight it in a British context. And when I was here last year, earlier this year for Hammerhead, I noticed that they were doing a Spanish Civil War game on the next table using a very British Civil War rule, so it seems to work. Right, here we are again at the very British Civil War table. It's close up there and what looks like fascist troops there. And it looks like they've got a catapult grenade launcher. So very much an idea of extemporised weapons. Coming down the road over here, where what looks like more fascist troops. And up on the roof over here, someone's managed to get what looks like a Vickers gun, a Maxim gun up on the roof there. Down here, an occupied building. The roof's been taken off for ease of access to the figures. Bits of fighting, one of the vehicles has gone up. And it looks like a serious dugout arrangement here. So this is a very British Civil War. And again with extemporised 1920s, 1930s type weapons, just as if the Spanish Civil War had been fought in Britain. Right, this is a group called the Bayonets. They get together to put on shows like this, or put on show games, and we're doing the American Civil War in 28mm.
Was it you that came up with the Bayonets?
That looks distinctly like the Dunker Church. Then you've got the typical American Civil War fenced road streaming away there. Union on this side. Just going to go in a bit closer there. Union on that side. And Confederate on this side. Got to say, very nice figures. And looking away into the distance, that looks terrifically like the Antietam Bridge. I don't recognise the position they've put it in. So we've got a stream of Union troops coming up through the town there. You can see some corps flags. They're in column crossing the river. Artillery there. And it looks like they're coming down there as well. And they're starting to exchange fire with Confederate units on this side. Yeah. And finally back to what looks like a Dunker Church. And then reserves coming up on this side. Might be heading for a single Union battalion which is covering the artillery. They could be in trouble there. Yep, they're right on the wing of the Union Army here with what would appear to be quite a large Confederate force. And something of a traffic jam occurring there, right in front of the Dunker Church. So this is the Bayonets producing a typical battle of about 1862. And while we're here, we have the esteemed editor. Of Miniature Wargames. Take the rest while he's taking his own photography. So there's the man himself. Right, this is the Boondock Saints presenting Laswari from 31st of October 1803. Last hurrah of the Deccan Invincibles and legacy of the old French army, I believe. And if we swing around here, some very nice terrain. It then builds up towards this great sort of Mughal period fort, and then a lot of figures. I'm seeing French style flags which may indicate remaining French influence in the area. And then coming up here we've got a definite Anglo-Indian force. I'm seeing a lot of Union Jacks. Some firing is taking place. Or it's dust coming off the road. I'm not sure. I think it might be dust. And someone's even coming up the river in a barge. So this is the Battle of Laswari, 31st of October, 1803. Yeah, that must be dust on the march. Remember, the plains of India can be quite dry, even in the October period. Let's go right in close. Yeah, they look like French-influenced Mughal Maratha troops. Very colourful. Definitely seeing a lot of French white crosses in there. Not sure how French the troops would be. Elephant-drawn artillery coming into action, or going out of action that way. And there's the fort. Very, very nice deep red sandstone fort. Believe it or not, I used to live in Ilford, and the local Hindu temple in Ilford was actually built of exactly the same sandstone. They had it imported from India, and it really does look that colour, even in London. So So this is the Laswari, produced by the Boondock Saints. This is Homefront Wargamers, and we are currently, although we're actually in Newark, we're actually somewhere along the Danube, 1809. Beyond us, considerable village over there, and this is Austrian versus French. I'll go in with the close-up camera in a minute and get some more. A lot of brush fir grass there. I'm assuming that's the Austrians. Yeah, it's Austrian cavalry there. Facing French dragoons, Dragon à Cheval over there. And the old French line lancers, Lancers de la Ligne here. My French is terrible. I will get some close-ups. Again, still handheld. Again, still handheld. This is somewhere along the Danube, 1809. Troops are approaching these buildings here. They've broken up to go around these buildings here. Yeah, they are very, very nice buildings. And down there. And over my shoulder, it was Mel the terrain tutor saying they're lovely buildings. So if he says they're good, they gotta be. These look like, are they Vistula Lancers? Could be. And over here, Austrians again, looking back towards the French on this side. And unless I miss my guess, I think they're cuirassiers. Can't see the breastplates at this angle, but I think they're I think they're cuirassiers. So the troops I previously said were dragoons on this side are actually cuirassiers. And French artillery up there. Right, this is a close-up on those French lancers you saw just now. Behind we have the Dragon à Cheval, dragoons. Then we got some real old French line infantry. Brigadier or general there. And facing off against the Austrians on this side. Austrians. More over there. More there. This is the Burton and District Wargamers, and they are firmly in the realms of zombies. As a player of Zombicide myself, I'm greatly drawn to anything that does zombies in a mass spectrum like this, and there's a lot of zombies. Oh boy. We're not a terribly good post-apocalyptic advert for Poundland. So we got the zombies, no, they're survivors. Nice little scrapyard over there. I like the shipping containers. And we have a zombie horde on that ship. Another zombie horde, looks like it's just got off this ship. Spreading out into like zombie skirmishers in front. Nice. Let's see if I can get another angle on it. Still with the zombie game. I just pointed out that they've nice post-apocalyptic advert for Poundland, and someone said yes, and UPS. So we've got mostly survivors at this end, townhouses, etc. Oh, I like that one with the corner cutaway. And then up here we've got what looks like the first swarm have got through that gate, heading this way. So I think they're going to be aiming for headshots here. are in Newark. It's only fitting that we find the Newark Irregulars here. They appear to have 2 or 3 games going on the same table. So, for example, we have some sort of futuristic jungle here. Some sort of futuristic jungle skirmish type game there. Switching to a more desert Alderan type thing, and then finally on the far side, what can best be described as a basement underground something. I don't know if they're all linked or whether they're just treating each as an individual game. This is Newark Irregulars. Here we have Gripping Beast doing Dark Ages Skirmish. Nice looking figures. I'm going to zero in a bit closer, give you a close up there, and again over there, and finally just over the treetops. Oh, hang on, go for that group there. Yeah, much nicer. Close focus though, so the camera's going to jump a bit. So this is Gripping Beast, and the rules appear to be Saga, which will be that set there. Saga rules, Gripping Beast. Right, this is Crooked Dice again. They do a game called Pulp, which is Indiana Jones type, set in the New England area. Gorgeous models. I've got to say this has sort of realms of Arkham, realms of Tales of Cthulhu, realms of Indiana Jones, bit of everything, and a really nice model, which this gentleman's just disassembling to put back together. Better view on this side. This is Crooked Dice. I really like the models. Definitely seeing a bit of H.P. Lovecraft coming through in some of those monsters that are appearing. Definitely, yeah. I've got to say the building models are rather nice. Someone's put a bit of effort into these. A little touch of the Arkham horror, Clark Ashton Smith, H.P. Lovecraft, Indiana Jones, you name it. The rules look very interesting. They're called Pulp. They're being marketed by Crooked Dice. Right, we're here at Legendary Wargames, Wargaming Holidays in Yorkshire. They're providing a superb Napoleonic. And by superb, I do mean superb. It's a very big 28. That's about halfway up the table where that conflict is taking place. More troops coming through here, look vaguely Austrian. Vaguely Austrian. And yeah, we've got Austrian here. As in there. Just going to go in close for some detail. That looks like Austrian. Yeah, I think that's Austrian. French Napoleonic battery up on the ridge there. And then more French troops spilling out towards the centre over there. So this is Legendary Wargames, Wargaming Holidays in Yorkshire. Right, this is the Iron Brigade, and they are doing an English Civil War action in front of me here, which I'm now going to pan down to. Very nice ECW helmet located just over there. And the table game is here in 28s. Very nice figures. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to run out of power soon. So, 28mm, this is Iron Brigade. And I'm going into the red on mid-power, so I'm going to pack up. Right, I've resumed filming late in the day because of power problems. The table here is organised by The Bunker, and this is their Raid on Entebbe game, the famous Israeli raid on the Ugandan airfield to free Israeli hostages. Those are the Israeli aircraft, carrier aircraft. Got various Israeli commandos spilling out of them. And in the original raid, they got as far as getting the Israeli hostages safely out of that building over there. There's the Air France airline they came in on. Idi Amin, unfortunately, was cooperating with the terrorists who grabbed the Israelis, and it involved the Israelis firing a very long-range raid all the way down to Uganda to get them out. Very nice models. A very interesting idea for a war game. So this is The Bunker doing the raid on Entebbe. This is the Like a Stonewall Wargames group. They're doing the Battle of Gill, September 1944 in Europe. Let's go around the corner and have a look at it. Yep. Very nice. Got Shermans there. Definitely see a Firefly. Definitely see a Firefly in amongst them. Heading through open terrain, and somewhere or another there must be Germans firing at them, as they've already lost one Sherman over there. So, oh, I see. Yeah. Germans are actually in the edge of the wood there. So this is the Like a Stonewall Wargames group. Battle of Gill. There's definitely an armoured vehicle hidden behind that tree. I'm going to reposition and let's have a look at it. Well, that concealed one turns out to be a Jagdpanther. And it's got a PAL down here. Nicely dug in Jagdpanther. Another one up there. Right, this is another late one. This is Steve Spence organising a very, very nice ancient. The front lines alone have to be over 2 meters long, and there are a lot of figures there. I might unclip the camera in a second and go in for some close-ups. I think it's early Roman versus Gaul, but I'm going to inquire to make sure I've got that one right. Right, I've just been put right on that one. It's actually Canine. This side must be the Carthaginian army. Sorry, yes, that side's the Carthaginian army. And what we've got is the Romans going at them, hammer and tongs. So Romans here. Going close on some of the Romans. Looks like attacking Gallic cavalry, trying to flank the Romans. Interesting idea. The skirmishers have been put on these bases. Makes for easy removal of casualties, and also leaves you with the feeling that the unit is actually not in rank and file. But yeah, I like that idea. Let's look at the other side. Right, this is the front of the Romans attacking the Carthaginians. Very nice figures. If I swing the camera around that way, this is now the Carthaginian line involving sorts of troops gathered in by the Carthaginian Empire, facing these oncoming Romans along there. So this is Battle of Canine. And again, these skirmishers arranged on these irregular type bases, which I think are a really neat idea. Yeah. And looking across, more Roman maniples over here. Don't think the term cohort is correct in this period, but I'm sure a Roman expert will correct me. Hastati, Incepi, Velites, etc. Right, this is the Forest Outlaws, and they're doing one I'm not familiar with, Vellinghausen. And it looks like they're doing it 15s. And it is quite a long, dense game. Very long, very big battle. I can see British flags up there in the distance. Vellinghausen reimagines 1761. Again, I'm going to unclip the camera and go in close and show you some detail. As I thought, these are 15mm. We're going right in close here. French over there. Dense ranks of 15mm right across. There. More British there. British infantry there. Cavalry here. And then looks like Allied troops over here. Allied troops over here. Facing more French, possibly even Bavarian over this side. Very, very dense game. A lot of it. Also gives you a sense of scale for some of these larger size actions in the 7 Years' War. Yeah, nice one. I'm quite sure the organisers of Partizan would not forgive me if I didn't mention the other Partizan, which is the second event of the year. This will be on Sunday, October the 8th. Usual starting time 10 AM, and as usual it's the George Stephenson Exhibition Hall, which is the Newark showground site in the English Midlands. The other Partizan Wargame show, Sunday, October 8th, 2023, starting at 10 AM. Hope to see you there. This has been a Warspite production. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a thumbs up. If you've really enjoyed it, please feel free to subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time. This is Warspite out, and have a very good day.